What are we looking at as we do go into these final months of the year and what it means for the bottom line for these major airline companies?
Hi, Morgan. Thanks for having me on. So, yes, it's going to be a tough holiday season. Everybody wants to travel. People are tired of being home, and they're looking forward to getting out and seeing friends and family that they may not have been able to see last year. So we're expecting very strong demand for the holidays. And it kind of all is a confluence of issues. I think you guys have been reporting that not only was it staffing issues, but weather issues. And that's typically what happens. You don't have enough staff. I think the mistake a lot of the airlines made when they laid off or furloughed or asked people last year to take voluntary leaves, that they thought everybody would be waiting at home for the phone call to come back to work, and people went out and got other jobs. So you have this training issue, and then you have to bring people back. It takes a while. You have people flying reserve that may not be available when you call them. So it's going to be messy, to say the least. And if we have any kind of weather over the holidays, and usually we get at least one snowstorm, right, between Christmas and New Year's or whatever, people just are going to have to be patient.
Yeah. So who's navigating it well? Who's well positioned right now? And I ask that because I also realize, and United comes to mind, that there have been some very heavy investments in tech along the way, too.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. The airlines were investing heavily in technology ahead of the pandemic, especially in digital and in communications. And to your point, we think United is doing the best job, and we think Delta is doing a really good job, too. And the reason is in part because both have fewer flights than American, Southwest, and Spirit had. So it winds up being that you have more control over your labor when you have fewer flights than when you have more flights. Plus, remember, for United, they didn't furlough people as much as they reduced hours. And so they said to their employees, we want to keep you on board. We're just going to reduce your hours. And then when things recover, we'll just start increasing your hours. And that way they never really lost momentum. And I think of all the companies that I cover, they've done the best job of from start to finish, if you will, just planning for it, heading into it, going through it, and now coming out of it.
Yeah, and of course the other piece of the broader puzzle in air right now, I mean, we just talked about the people piece, but there's also the package piece. So UPS and FedEx, and I realize both of those companies are doing their own things to navigate as we come into peak shipping season, too. But FedEx, for example, we saw labor shortages really hit earnings for that company in the most recent quarter, too. So how does that fit into this puzzle?
Morgan, that's a great question. So think about it this way. FedEx is hiring 90,000 people like right now. And then on top of that, you have UPS hiring 100,000, Amazon hiring 150,000, Target hiring 100,000, Walmart hiring 20,000, plus all the people the airlines are hiring. I'm not 100% certain where all these people are coming from that everybody wants to hire for the peak. But yeah, I think the other part, and you guys have been doing a great job reporting, send your packages early, order early. If you see something, buy it now. I think retail's obviously going to have a good season for the same reason, and it's going to be elongated. Otherwise, if you wait to the last instant, you may be disappointed. And it's not a surprise. Christmas comes December 25th every single year. So people can really think about, that's what, 7 weeks away? People can really plan, okay, I have 7 weeks to get my stuff in-house, and I'm going to use every one of those days to plan properly rather than say, okay, I'm going to wait till December 24th and hope for the best.